Have you ever met someone who seemed incredibly charming, confident, and persuasive, but something about them just didn't feel right? Maybe they could look you straight in the eye and tell a bold-faced lie without even flinching. Or perhaps they did something cruel and showed absolutely no guilt or remorse. If this sounds familiar, you might have been dealing with a psychopath. In today's video, we're going to break down the fascinating and sometimes terrifying world of psychopathy, what it is, how to recognize the signs, and why it's so difficult to spot in everyday life. Make sure you stick around until the end, because we'll explore the most reliable ways experts identify psychopaths and why not everyone who shows psychopathic traits is actually a true psychopath. Let's start with the basics. A psychopath isn't just someone who is violent or dangerous like you see in the movies. In fact, many psychopaths don't end up in prison at all. Some live right among us, holding down jobs and appearing completely normal on the surface. What truly sets them apart is a specific cluster of personality traits and behaviors that all revolve around manipulation, a lack of empathy, and very shallow emotions. One of the first things you might notice is their incredible charm. Psychopaths are often magnetic. They seem to know exactly what to say at the right time. They can be funny, confident, and incredibly smooth in social situations. But here's the catch. This charm is usually superficial. It's more of a tool they use than a reflection of genuine warmth. They use it to gain your trust, get what they want, and disarm any suspicion you might have. Another defining feature is their manipulativeness. Psychopaths are experts at exploiting others. They lie easily and convincingly, sometimes for personal gain, and other times just to maintain a sense of control over a situation or a person. What makes this so dangerous is that they don't feel guilty about it. When most people lie, they feel some level of discomfort or fear of being caught. A psychopath doesn't. To them, lying is simply a strategy, as natural as breathing. Then there's the chilling lack of empathy. Most of us can feel compassion when we see someone else in pain, even if it's a total stranger. Psychopaths don't truly experience that emotional connection. They might be able to fake emotions to mimic sadness, happiness, or even love, but it's shallow and it never lasts. Their emotional responses often seem off or just out of place. Imagine someone smiling at a funeral or staying disturbingly calm after doing something incredibly cruel. That's the kind of emotional flatness we're talking about. They also tend to have a grandiose sense of self-worth. Many psychopaths genuinely believe they're smarter, tougher, or more important than everyone else around them. This inflated ego makes them dismiss criticism, break rules without a second thought, and treat others as if they're beneath them. Impulsivity is another major red flag. Psychopaths often act without thinking about the consequences. They might take dangerous risks, spend money recklessly, or jump from one chaotic situation to another. For them, the thrill of the moment or the short-term reward completely outweighs any thought of long-term stability. This impulsivity can make them unpredictable and incredibly hard to manage in relationships, at work, or even in daily life. And then there's the chilling lack of remorse. Imagine someone hurting you emotionally, financially, or even physically and then just shrugging it off as if it didn't matter. Psychopaths will often blame the victim, deny any responsibility, or justify their actions in ways that can make your jaw drop. For them, the feeling of guilt is almost non-existent. Psychopaths also lie a lot. Pathological lying is a common trait. These lies can be small things, like where they've been, or they can be huge, like inventing entire false identities. What's fascinating, and a little scary, is that they don't always lie just to get something. Sometimes, they lie simply because they can. It's about exerting control and testing the boundaries of what they can get away with. Some psychopaths also live what's called a parasitic lifestyle. Instead of working hard or earning their own way, they may rely on others financially or emotionally. They manipulate people into supporting them, often draining their partners, family, or friends of their resources without a hint of shame. Now, here's the really important thing to remember. Not everyone who has some of these traits is a psychopath. People can lie, act impulsively, or lack empathy from time to time without being one. True psychopathy is rare, and it's not just a personality quirk, it's a serious disorder that has to be carefully diagnosed by trained professionals. Experts often use a tool called the Hare psychopathy checklist, or the PCL-R. This checklist scores individuals on 20 different traits, including their charm, manipulation, lack of empathy, and antisocial behaviors. A person needs to get a high enough score on this test to be strongly indicated as a psychopath. This structured assessment is one of the most reliable methods used in clinical and forensic settings. It's also crucial to understand that psychopathy exists on a spectrum. Some people might show mild psychopathic traits but still function perfectly normally in society. Others might score very high and become dangerous criminals. And then there are the psychopaths who never commit a crime at all. Instead, they climb corporate ladders, manipulate their way through relationships, or exploit people in less visible ways. So, how do you identify a psychopath in your own life? The truth is, it's not easy. Their charm and expert manipulation often mask their darker traits incredibly well. But if you notice someone who consistently lies without guilt, shows no empathy for others, takes reckless risks, and treats people like they are just tools for their own benefit. Those are serious warning signs you shouldn't ignore. At the end of the day, you can think of psychopathy as a survival strategy gone wrong. Psychopaths are wired to exploit, manipulate, and control without feeling the emotional costs that stop most of us in our tracks. Understanding these signs can help protect you from being drawn into their world. Remember, not every cold, selfish, or dishonest person is a psychopath. But when many of these traits appear together, and especially when you see them repeating over and over again, you might just be dealing with one. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who's interested in psychology and human behavior. Thanks for watching, and stay curious, because understanding the human mind is one of the best tools we have to protect ourselves and to grow.